Welcome everyone, today we'll have day 2 of the boss guide. Today we're going to fight the Anemo boss. Now coming over to the difficulty levels for the boss. As usual, you can go for the 180 seconds, you can go for the 50% HP. What more is interesting is with electric resistance, also pyro resistance. Notice those are the critical ones. If you have character for those damage, you might want to leave those for now. But if you don't, you can click them. After that, you can click everything but the critical rate. Why do I talk about the critical rate? Is because the critical rate really lowers your damage. Lowering critical rate by 50% is actually a massive damage output. So the 3 things you want to be aware, other than taking extra damage and dealing less damage when your HP is under 50%, is that you want to be aware of the lower critical rate, you want to be aware of the resistance, and also the HP and timing. Those are the bigger factors. So what I did was, I had Electro open. This is the points I had to fight. I can definitely go higher. As you can see in some of my replays, I was doing much quicker. I almost had 1 minute to spare as well with this one. So we can go anywhere from 3500 and beyond. Now what about the boss? What are the special mechanics? So coming to the boss fight now, the first thing you're going to notice is the boss takes a long time for its animation. For the first 10 seconds, it will not allow you to attack it. But what you can do is you can plan some AoE damage before he comes available. Notice at 10 seconds later, he only does the animation to attack, so this is a downside if you're short on time. And after that, he will always do the clap. After clapping, he will be vulnerable, and this is your best time to deal damage. If you can deal damage up to 1/3 of boss's HP, this will be very important because you will set him into animation with the next phase. But if you don't, that's okay, because even if you don't do enough damage like this, he will eventually allow you to take allow you to deal more damage. But the key is to get him to 1/3 HP. Let me show you guys what happens when he gets to 1/3 HP over here. So this is what happens. Once you get the boss to 1/3 HP, he will definitely cast this special animation, which summons the tornado. Now, once he summons the tornado by rotating in the middle, what you want to do is, because we have picked a lot of slow movement speed and we don't want to dash to take extra damage, you want to have someone like Venti or have the available of the throw effect, which the boss summons. We will talk about it. You want to be flying up. So I had Venti over here to fly up, but there are other things the boss also drops that allows you to fly up. I think this is the best way to dodge everything, and if you don't, you really have to dodge the tornadoes, which are very fast. After the tornadoes, the boss will have Anemo orbs, and also the boss will be again vulnerable. I don't think we need to go for the orbs because you can focus more damage on the boss, and if you're going for the orbs, you might run out of time. We'll talk about those orbs as well. Now coming over here for this particular moment, I talk about what happens when you don't have Venti and you want to go for things that's in the air, you want to fly up. The boss will drop those particular objectives. As they slam on the ground, don't get slammed by them, and if you break them, you create the upswell. And this is how you can dodge the tornado and how you can grab other objectives. So this is one of the things good to know, that you don't have to break them right away, you can break them later. Notice I'm using this one to dodge some of the boss mechanics. And this takes us into the next mechanics. Those orbs, if you grab them, it's nice, but if you don't, you want to use the plunge attack against the world boss. This world is going to do AoE damage to those on the floor, but if you can fly over and you want to be doing the plunge attack while you fly over. So what you want to do is, you want to fly up to the boss and do plunge attack onto the orb. And once you do plunge attack, you will break the boss and he will land. But if you don't, this will take too long time for you to defeat the boss. So it's important that when the boss does this animation, which he doesn't guarantee to do all the time, sometimes if you have enough damage or if you're lucky enough, he doesn't have this phase. But if you have this phase, make sure you fly over and plunge attack the boss. And afterwards, he will be vulnerable. Or it will be vulnerable. As you can see, I'm not going for the other orbs, I'm just trying to deal more damage. Now, similar to all the Anemo Hypostatic, what's going to happen is, once you get it to very low HP, it's going to have the final phase, which is called chasing the orb. And this one's quite interesting. Notice once the phase is ready, it will be available for you to get a lot of uplift, and there will be a lot of the Anemo orbs. And one of them is actually moving. So what you want to do is, I made a mistake here, you don't want to be chasing the moving ones, you want to go for the stationary ones. And while you're going for the stationary ones, if the moving ones happen to be in the radius of your flight, go for that one. Don't chase the flying one first, because for each of the orbs you don't collect, the boss is going to heal. But if you collect all the orbs, you have a chance to defeat the boss. So let's have a look here. This is my mistake. I didn't go for the stationary ones, I was chasing the moving ones. Make sure you chase the stationary ones first, because the moving ones will move into your radius. Notice here I didn't collect enough orbs because I was chasing the flying ones. I had so much time left, I could have defeated this boss with 1 minute spare. And what's going to happen is, for the orbs you didn't chase and you didn't collect, the boss is going to heal massively. And just to show you guys over here, once you have collect all of those orbs, what's going to happen is there is going to be a small phase. The boss will take a little animation, and this may be really annoying. Notice I'm almost short on time, and I was doing so well on this run. So after the animation, the boss will try to clap you, and just try to dodge that, and after that it will be vulnerable. And once you have collect all the orbs, you can defeat the boss. So there is a lot of practice, and I think I highlight most of the mechanics. The biggest thing, guys, is to test your damage and test your party's characters. For me, if I didn't need to heal, I didn't need Jin. And for me, Venti was pretty massive to dodge the tornadoes, to grab the orbs, because I can create additional updrift. Kachin is really good here, as you can see in the replay, because she deals additional damage. But the downside is, she cannot give you additional points because you can't pick the resistance to Electro. Ganyu is okay, and in some of my fights, what I start to do is, and as you can see over here for Ganyu and characters that has AoE effect for a long time, what I start to do is, as usual, you wait for all your energy to be recharged. And knowing that the boss actually have a 10-second window before you can deal damage, I start to do my AoEs before the boss is available to take damage, because I know this way I can stack the most damage. The timing is not perfect on this one, but notice I have everything landed. I was trying to get the Lotus and also Ganyu's AoE right away onto the boss. Notice I'm doing almost about 30% of the boss's HP in the first go, and this is pretty nice. If you can do this much, you can set the boss into the next animation. Notice that by dealing damage right away, I was able to push the boss down to close to 50% within 30 seconds. I think it is critical, guys, to make sure you get the boss to go into the tornado mode as quickly as you can. And if you didn't have Venti here, notice I had those little orbs next to me that I could have picked up. Notice here before I used Venti, I could have broken down those orbs for the tornado for me to fly up. Because we have such low movement speed, we really don't want to get slowed down by the boss. And finally, before I show you guys some of my successful replays, keep in mind, guys, the final check for the boss is always the damage check. If you can deal more damage, you understand the mechanics, you can increase the boss's HP. Again, if you can deal more damage, you can increase or reduce the time. And finally, if you don't need the critical rate, you can pick the critical rate. Those are the few I didn't pick, and also I didn't pick the electro resistance. You can easily get over 3500 once you practice enough. And you can see in some of my replays, I was super close as well. So the next part, I'll have the replays of me testing the boss and a few successful runs for you guys to have a demonstration. And you can see some of my mistakes, of course. Let me know your best scores, guys. This is quite interesting.
Next on the... With sword comes shadow. Here we go. frost. Healthy. What? This is long overdue. Incoming. Ha. Yeah. Hit. Don't blink. No touching. This sword from shadow. Wouldn't gliding be faster? We're way behind. Access denied. Speed of light. Yeah.
Now if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe and also turn the little bell on for the latest news. I'll be looking towards to make more builds, guides, tips and news and event updates for us as we come further into the game. And as always, I wish you guys the best of luck with Genshin and have the most fun in exploring this wonderful world.